be the reason that you lose. Don't let pride be the reason that you lose.
What's up, y'all? This is the Plain Black Rapper Podcast, and I'm your host, Nytelife. I know it's been a minute. I'm so getting tired of saying that. I just got to be more consistent with putting these pods out. It's just that so much be going on in life and trying to figure things out and get things done that, you know, you're juggling a lot. You got to prioritize what needs to be prioritized and then come back to the things you love. And I'm coming back to the thing I love the most. And that's podding, and that's being here with y'all, man. So I hope that over the course of the time that the last pod came out, which was episode 56, between that then and now, you've had, you know, great breakthroughs, great times, enjoyed your family, you know, conquered, did the things that you wanted to do, and, you know, hopefully coming back here for, you know, a good little peace of mind. That's what I had to do. I'm coming off of some really good things happening, moved up in my job or whatever, and it's been exciting. So now I'm looking towards really trying to solidify a consistency with what we're doing. You know, this podcast, I think, is very important to me, and I have to really show how important it is by really putting in the time and effort and, you know, being present and putting out more content. So that's what I plan on doing. But all of those who rock with me, you know, my little core fan base of people that follow this pod, I thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for sharing the clips on TikTok and on Instagram and all that stuff. And hopefully it's been fun for you to do. Well, before I get any further into it, as you see at the bottom, man, contribute to the link. There's two things. Number one is down at the bottom here, we have our merch. You can go to, you know, mitchellmedia.creator at spring.com and purchase some shirts. You can get a dope little Nytelife shirt if you want to get one of those. You can get a Plain Black Rapper Podcast shirt to show support of the actual channel. Like and subscribe to the channel, of course. That's number two. So those are the two most important things to do. If you want to contribute, man, you know, feel free, because, you know, this content it costs money to be able to do this. So $, Nytelife 3200 at Cash App, and drop whatever you want to drop there. If you want to do that, you know, support and love, really appreciate it. Thank you. So just getting into topics and stuff, man. One thing I really had an opportunity to think about, because over the course of doing the stuff that I've done over the past, you know, month and a half that I've been gone from the pod, I really have ran into some different situations to be able to kind of bring them forward as topics. You know, number one is, you know, thinking at times we have a problem with wanting people to speak to our greatness to validate us. And I think we do that a lot. We want people to say we're good. We want people to say we're great. We want people to say we're talented. We want people to say that, you know, we're outstanding. And there's nothing wrong with wanting praise. Praise, I think, is dope, but I think it just can't come at the expense of you not believing in yourself to be that way. You have to first be confident in your not only beliefs, but your talents and what it is that you do. And as long as you're confident in that, the other people's opinions don't matter, because we're in the internet age where none of that shit sticks anyway. So if somebody takes a shot at you, tries to shit on you or something like that, it's going to be there for 5 minutes, going to sting a little bit, and then it'll be gone. And then the news cycle will take it away. It's gone. People praise you, tell you you're doing a great job, really like what's going on. That pat on the back is going to last 5 minutes, and then it's gone. It's buried. That comment's buried. That post is buried. All that stuff is buried. It's gone. We're just in a temporary news cycle where stuff don't last. So it's just like none of that stuff keeps. You know, you have to look at it for what it is. It's momentary dopamine hit where you feel good about yourself, or, you know, it's a momentary depression where you feel bad about yourself because somebody shitted on you. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, those things happen. But staying in the middle is just understanding where you are. It's the ebb and flows, not too high, not too low. Don't let nobody, you know, cut your legs off from underneath you and kill your confidence and make you stop what you're doing. Because at that moment, It doesn't feel very good when somebody says something bad about you. But when they say something great about you, it can boost you up and make you want to do more. But you can only take that with a grain of salt, because pretty soon somebody else is gonna come out and want to cut your legs off underneath you. That's just the way it happens, and it's unfortunate. But this is where we are when you're doing creative space and doing creative stuff. Anything that's subjective and people can comment on and tell you they like or dislike it, you're opening yourself up to that. The minute that you post anything, the minute that you create music, the minute that you create art, the minute that you act, the minute that you do whatever it is that you do, whenever you put yourself out there, you put something out there for somebody to be able to tell you thumbs up, thumbs down, they're going to take liberties to do that. Some people want to troll and do it a little bit more harsh than others. But you have to understand that comes with the territory. When you make a decision to be able to put yourself out there, you got to be willing to take what comes. And that's just part of the law. You can't even dispute that at all. That's just the game. Just being a judge on the Gauntlet Beat battle is like, it's subjective. You either gonna like it or you're not, or they're gonna be elements that you like, elements that you don't like, and as a judge, you have to be able to call it the way that you need to call it at that time. And it's hard because people don't like the decision. Sometimes people get upset and you're wrong and you don't know what you're listening to, or who are you to tell me that I'm this? And it's like, well, I'm the judge, number one, and two, you put it up here because you value opinions of others, not only the three judges in the panel or four judges in the panel. You relied on the chats as well, and you wanted that feedback. And when you get that feedback and it's not good feedback to you, then you have to be able to go, okay, how do I turn that into something positive instead of bitching and complaining about it? It's going to happen. We're not going to and things are just not going to go in our favor all the time. Your sports team is not going to win all the time. You're not going to like the referees. You're not going to like, things or people that take cheap shots at the players that you love and all that shit. You're not going to like that. And that's just part of the game, but you have to be able to get past that and use it as an opportunity to build momentum. Now, what I really want to ask is, what is confidence? Confidence to me is, I'll tell you what confidence to me is in a moment. Is it knowing that you mastered your craft? Is it knowing that you're the best? Is it, knowing that you are real and you're successful and all of that stuff and other stuff? You're the most paid, you sell the most records, you sell the most this or that or whatever. What is the definition of confidence? The definition of confidence to me is just, knowing that you can successfully teach others what you've learned. You've mastered your craft and you can teach others that. What your own worth is, and you support paying not only for it, other people support paying for it, but you're able to pay that forward. And I think if you have those type of things in regards to what you're looking at as far as confidence, I think those are great building blocks for confidence. It's getting up and affirmations and knowing that you're great, telling yourself you're great, going through and doing things and accomplishing goals and checking boxes and all of that stuff. And you feel great. That all builds confidence. But the root of that is knowing what it is you do, knowing how great you do it, and being able to replicate that and to be able to teach others to be able to do it as well. I think that's encapsulates what confidence is. And with those things happening in regards to confidence, sometimes it's easy for people to poke holes in confidence, because then they go, well, you're not that good, or that wasn't that good. I didn't really like that. Why did you do that? Or ultra troll you, or do all that type of shit. That those things will eat away at what your confidence is. But the core confidence that you have is knowing that, man, I have a formula to be able to do this successfully every single time. And as long as you're able to do that, you can be as confident as you want. Nobody can really tell you anything because you're actively doing it. I'm actively doing this. So it's like, nobody can tell me that I'm not, I don't know what I'm doing, because I know what I'm doing. I'm here. I'm able to put this out. I'm able to, work on music. I'm able to put music out. I'm able to do that. My level of what I think is successful to me is the most important level of what success is defining to me, not what anybody else's level of success is, their definition. Um, people's like, well, you're not in the game, you're not selling records, you're not doing this and that. And it's like, okay, but I'm out here, and my goal has always been in regards to what I do is to have a voice for my kids to be able to go back and listen to when I'm gone. It's the most important thing to me. And as long as I follow that and that's my North Star, I'm cool. I'm not even tripping on none of that other stuff. Sometimes we are in situations where there's two type of ways that being invited into rooms works. Sometimes you're being invited in rooms, you may invited in rooms that there's no reason why you should be in them, but you're in rooms because of the simple fact of who you are. And then sometimes you're invited into rooms because people don't really want you there and they want to use you as an example of why you shouldn't be there. And that's the nastiest thing to deal with. Hey, come on by. We want you to be here, but we know you're completely overmatched. You don't know what's going on in here. And people want to talk over your head to make you look smaller and to make them look like they know more. And that is crazy. It's really hard to be in a situation to make yourself successful when people do that. There's nothing more like disheartening than being at a table and you are asked to participate and you participate. And it's like, okay, well, you're giving, hey, what we should do, here's my feedback, or here's what I think we should do. And then everybody looks at you and then they just continue to talk amongst themselves and they don't even take in what you say. And then some other person recycles what it is that you just said and then takes it and everybody goes, hey, that's a great idea. It was like, well, I just said that shit like 5 minutes ago. What's going on? It's because you didn't have the credentials to back up what it is that you were saying. It was a great idea, but nobody wants to go out on a limb and be able to say, hey, that was dope. That was a great idea from you. They don't want to be that person to validate you in that moment because you shouldn't be there. You don't have this degree or you don't have this training or you don't have this. And as long as you don't have that, then you need to just shut up and be a person to watch and learn. And we don't need to hear your voice. And that's hard. That's hard. It's different when you find, I remember we was talking about finding your tribe, and when you find your tribe and you find people that are like-minded and people that want you there and people that are encouraged by your participation and feedback and all that stuff, when you do that, it gives you more confidence because they're like, hey man, tell me more about that. That sounds great. That's a great idea. That was a great point that you just made. And then they elaborate and y'all bouncing stuff off each other and ideas. There's nothing wrong with being new at a place, but sometimes when you have to be allowed to be able to put yourself out there and be able to go, okay, well, I'm the outsider out of everything. So I see things from a different lens than everybody else. So maybe my idea is a little bit more fresh and new than other people have. And when you bring those things in and it's like, oh, you know what, that makes sense. Maybe we should try that. It's just a matter of just being able to find people that are receptive to that, because there's a lot of times that people are jealous and people are not wanting to let you into the cool kids club and they want to keep you outside. And they will reject everything that it is you do, regardless of whether it's great ideas, whether it's, it's great feedback, or it is another new way to do things. It's ingenuity. It's just like, they don't want to do that. If I didn't think of that, or we didn't think of that as a team, and you come out here and say this, we don't want to hear that. And that's tough. That's really tough. And it's unfortunate because we get caught in those positions all the time, but you can't let people define you like that. I think you have to be able to push through and continue to say what it is that you need to say and make sure your ideas are heard. Or you just find your own village to be able to have your ideas heard and make that better. And then once you and your village elevates, then people will notice y'all, and then people will want to come and walk up to y'all and figure out what's going on. What's cracking over here? This looks like it's going pretty well. It's because the village has embraced themselves and listened to ideas and all come together and work together to come to a common ground to make something better. That happens. But it's just that the person that is in those positions, you have to be willing to do that. And I think over the course of the last 2 years, I've learned that a lot, because I've been new in places, and that is hard. It's being new in places, being new in regards to different spaces and doing different things inside, outside music, work, being in different social circles, stuff like that. It's like there's that being new part is hard. It's hard because you're not always accepted. You're not always loved. You're not always wanted. But you still have to be able to push through to show people that you're worthy of whatever it is going on. You are great at what you do, and that you are an asset more than a liability. People want you to be a liability because they want to be able to have something to step on and talk about and make you the squeaky wheel, and you're the one that's, oh, well, he don't know nothing, he's terrible, and blah blah blah. And everybody use that as a team building moment to shit on you, and that can't be. It's unfortunate that it happens, but I think it's needed because you get to learn from it. And then once you go through that one time, then you are able to read rooms properly and go into them and be aware. You're cautiously optimistic when you go in there. You're not just going in and bearing your soul to everybody, and then they taking that and using that as an opportunity to demean you or make you smaller in the room. And like I said, people discount your brilliance because they want to stand on their own brilliance and stand on you to make them look better. And that is always critical. You have to watch out for those type of people, because those type of people will steal your energy. They will steal your passion, will steal your motivation, and make you not want to do whatever it is that you're doing, because they want to, I'm gonna troll you, I'm gonna make you look bad, and I'm gonna make the group laugh at you and make the group feel bad about you. But at the same time, it makes me look like the social funny guy or whatever, because I was able to do this. And I think that doing that at people's expense is wrong. You shouldn't, because we've all been there. Everybody has been new. Everybody has been the person that came through and that has had to adapt. Everybody's been new at one time. Nobody just comes in and just jumps out and just be like, I know everything, I'm good. Nah. The CEO had to start from somewhere, right? The boss had to start from somewhere. The manager had to start from somewhere. You know what I'm saying? They had to start somewhere. And there are humble beginnings for everything. There are silver spoon situations where people just get like grandfathered in and shit. But for the most part, people have to start from somewhere. And they had to learn something from somebody and be taught in order to be able to have the things that they have. And as long as you are receptive to being taught, and you can learn and you can experience and you can fail and you can learn from failing, and then you can build off of that, then you'll be fine. You just don't let them push you in a corner and fail and just be like, man, this ain't for me. I can't do this no more. Somebody did this, I'm taking my ball and going home. Why? If you went to school for it, you got the education for it, you belong here. You got the job experience for it, you belong here. You got your 10,000 hours of mastery in whatever it is that you're doing, whatever craft that you're doing, or whatever creative thing that you're doing. You belong here. As long as you can put out cohesive thoughts, cohesive ideas, attractive ideas, things that people want to hear, see, feel, that's all that matters. Don't let others define you when it comes to that, because they'll try. They'll look at you and look at your success and say, how or why, instead of, that's great. That's amazing that you was able to accomplish that. That pat on the back is like, who does he think he is? Where did he come from? No way he should be here. No way she should be here. Who does she think she is? It's unfortunate. But I think you have to be able to understand that those things are going to happen and that people are going to people at times, good, bad, or indifferent. Human nature is just that we either going to laugh at something, we going to be mad at something, we going to be hurt by something, and we going to be unforgivable and shit on something. That's just what happens. We got to deal with. And sometimes that really plays with your love for stuff. Do I really want to do this? Am I really good at this? Can I do this? Wow, they said that I was really not that good. So maybe I'm not that good. And those moments actually are what define you, because those are just the crossroads. It's like, okay, I can either just power through all of the BS and stuff that they was saying about me and move forward, or I can just stop and accept the fact that I'm not good. I know plenty of people that are not really that good, but they push. They just push. Because in their mind, it's like, this is great. I'm doing something and accomplishing something that I was told I was not supposed to. I can't believe that I'm doing all of this. And when you have that attitude, nobody really can tell you anything. You're great to you because you're accomplishing something that you never thought you could accomplish. So the singing might not be right. The questions might not be right for the interviewer. The broadcasting might not be right. The bars might not match up on beat. Maybe the bass ain't as good on your beat or whatever. There may be so many things that happen, but the bottom line is that nobody knows where you started at. You remember what it was like to be able to do your first recording, to create your first beat, to do your first broadcast, to do just do things a first time. And when you see that progress, man, that's moments to beat your chest about. It may not be as great as what somebody else's is. I mean, yeah, my shit ain't gonna sound like Dr. Dre. I know it's not. But it's gonna sound good to me because of where I started. If you heard some mixes that I had when I first started, oh my God. Oh my God. I was like, man, I'm just happy to record. So as long as I can record over this beat, it matter. I don't know nothing about nothing. And it sounded like that. And then as you start to learn and you start being around people that know the game and know how to make stuff sound the way it's supposed to sound, and then you start picking up things. And then you make that decision. Hey, do I go to school and learn this? Yeah. So you do that. It's just a matter of you being able to be dedicated enough to be able to push through to get to a point where you can look back and say, damn, you know what? I really came up over the course of that time when I first started. You have to allow that self for you. So allow that for yourself. And it's whatever your benchmarks are. If that was your benchmark, then fine. Your benchmark was to be here. Good. Your benchmarks don't have to match up with other people's benchmarks. I got a whole whiteboard with a bunch of shit I need to accomplish by 2025. And I just go up there and just mark shit off. And that list is long and it looked crazy. And then some of the stuff on there, people look at it and be like, what's that? That don't even make any sense. But it makes sense to me because I know what it is. But nothing feels better for me to be able to cross things out on that list. Cross things out on my whiteboard. Write new things in on my whiteboard after I cross those out. I just want to get a whole section done, erase that section, and then just make a new one. That makes me feel good. That makes me feel accomplished. If I'm getting my things done, I'm getting my bucket list items that I want taken care of, I don't even care. That's success to me. You never made it. You never been signed. You never been this. You never been that. You don't. Who do you think you are? I'm Nytelife. I am responsible for the Plain Black Rapper podcast. I am a judge on the Gauntlet Beat Battle. I am an artist. I have multiple records that are available on all platforms. I'm a great father. I'm always a work in progress husband. But I'm great at what I do at work at its core. Feel like I'm a great friend, feel like I'm a great family member. So I'm cool. I could stand on that stuff. That makes me feel good. I'm great at that. I don't and so as long as I have those things to be able to stand on, I don't really care about anything else. My goal is not to get to what other people's goals are. That's why they're my goals. I don't owe you nothing. I owe me shit. I don't owe you anything. So stop holding me to your specifications and levels of what you think I should be or what you think makes me qualified enough to be able to speak on anything. Because you don't know any of my life experiences. You don't know who I've been around. You don't know who I've been, who I've been around, who I've learned from. You have no idea. So don't judge me based on that. You shouldn't judge anybody based on that. I'm not going to tell anybody they're not qualified to do anything or say anything. I mean, if you've never done surgery and you're trying to tell a doctor how they need to be cutting on people, it's different. But you can't be in these situations where you're telling people that do stuff, and regardless of what level they do it at, that they're not qualified to speak on it, because we're allowed to be fans and we're allowed to be critical of things, and we can say whether we like or dislike something. Everybody can do that. Everybody has that right. You don't need to be qualified to have that right of being able to say this is bad and this is good. You know what your ears for. You can be qualified to tell you what this tastes bad and this tastes good. We all have different taste buds. That's what happens. You can't be mad at people for that. And we're in the era that we want to be mad at people for having opinions on things. But also, when you're on the other side of that and you're the one being cut on by the opinion, you need to take that with a grain of salt, because they're one of millions of people that are out there. And some people are going to say you're great, and some people are going to say you're horrible. That's just it. Even the greatest artists, the greatest musicians, the greatest athletes, all have people saying he ain't that good. She ain't that good. She's terrible. She's overrated. He's overrated. People are going to say that shit. That's just what it is. But you have to take it with a grain of salt. But I'm not going to throw their opinion out. I'm not going to tell them they're not qualified, because that's what they feel. I ain't going to tell nobody that. Hey, your opinion is your opinion. I respect you. Just don't be trying to just step on me in the point of you making a point. Say you dislike. Okay, I understand you dislike, but don't say that it's trash, it's never going anywhere, and that's why blah 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 blah. It's like, that's when you go too far. That's when you get your ass punched in the mouth. Knock that off. Yeah, that's coming from somebody that used to do that type of shit. Well, I think I'm about to get up out of here. I think I've wasted enough of y'all time. Nah, I'm kidding. I hope this time has been fruitful for y'all. Thank y'all for joining me again. Like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Please make sure that you share. You see the clips up, share them. Continue to do what you need to do with TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff, man. Make sure you continue to support. Buy the gear down at the bottom at Mitchell Media Review .creator. nytelife-spring.com. You can go there and buy shirts that will support me. Cash App, $, Nytelife 3200. Make sure that you support. Kick me down a couple bucks or whatever, man. This thing costs to be able to keep making this content. So appreciate y'all, respect y'all, love y'all. Difficult roads often lead to most beautiful destinations. Shoot your shot, go for the win. You might make it. Peace.